This is an NYY Sports Talk podcast presented to you by Baseballism, a premium lifestyle apparel brand inspired by America's pastime. Baseballism is America's brand.
Now batting for the New York Yankees, the shortstop, number 2.
Welcome back. This is episode 115 of the NYYST podcast presented to you by Baseballism.com. I am your host, Christian, as always joined by my co-host, Chris.
You.
And Stat Guy Ryan.
Whoa.
So, we're going to start the show by saying, please give us a 5-star rating and review.
You guys were awesome last week.
Because I'm about to call all of you a bunch of idiots.
Here we go. This is all the negative reviews we get. All they do is sit there and talk about how dumb the fans are.
Well, you know what? If you're offended by what I say, then obviously it means you.
Okay, I'm going to play, I want you to speak, and then I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Speak, boy, speak. Roof.
Are you going to talk about that Aaron Judge thing you were telling us earlier?
We don't have to. We can get into that in a little
All right,
bit.
I thought that's what you were going to break down.
Everybody that said we didn't need the full lineup back, everybody that was feeling themselves after the sweep in San Francisco, everybody that said, oh, we don't need Hicks, we don't need Andujar, Didi, who's that? Aaron Judge, he strikes out too much.
Okay.
Oh, we scored 3 runs in Arizona, didn't win a game. So, I'm not going to say you're a dumb idiot if you didn't want the full lineup to come back, because that would just be mean. But,
listen, I'm going to play, I'm going to start by saying I agree with you, okay? However, just like we say, it's only been, 30 games, or it's only been 10. It was only 2 games. They've been on the West Coast. They've been playing their fucking asses off. They had a day off. Then they play in a shit stadium. I've been there. I can say it. I can vouch for it. And then they play a 2-game quick series. One of them against Zach Greinke, who's having a really good start to his season.
They
were deflated after a really long West Coast road trip.
Chris, they scored 3 runs.
I don't care.
In 2 games.
The full
lineup.
lineup scores 3 runs in 2 games sometimes.
You know what? I'm going to go down with that ship.
I'm not fighting you.
No, but
I'm just stating.
When somebody wants to play devil's advocate, it's because they want to fight without the fight.
No.
I want to learn how to throw that Greinke.
Okay, I'll say this.
Change it.
I
Curveball.
agree. I've always felt we need the full lineup back, but I also don't think it's fair to just say to these guys they suck now because they lost 2 games. I don't. I think it's too small of a sample. I think they've won too many games to just rip them apart.
Against the Giants and the Angels.
Okay.
Now they played a decent team.
They lost. I understand.
Okay.
But let's play another decent team. The Twins, who are having a good
I
year.
almost drove off the side of the road today when I heard that they're the best team in the American League. I mean, it's May 2nd right now, but the Twins have the best record in the American League.
Did you see? I think who's lined up to start on Sunday for the Twinnies?
Is that Michael Pineda?
Believe it'll be Michael Pineda.
No, it is Pineda. Yeah,
that'll be cool to see him.
Pine.
Wow, that is. I never thought of that. The word pine is in his last name.
You think he gets booed? I hope he gets booed.
You want me to boo him? I'm going to the game Sunday.
I do.
You want me to boo him?
think he'll get booed. I
think Yankee fans are completely indifferent.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you think he gets announced and they're like, there he is. I remember this jerk
I
off.
guarantee you'll
get some boos though.
Oh,
it's supposed to be a crummy day, but it is bat day, so you're probably going to have a lot of people in the stadium. You say 40,000. I would venture to guess 28,000 of those.
Do you think
people.
they're only going to turn out 40,000 people? It's supposed to be a nice day?
No, it's supposed to be a crummy day.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be like
28,000 are
of those 40,000 are going to be are going to not even remember that Michael Pineda was a Yankee.
Because most people don't even watch. We talked about the whole Fenway thing.
They're going to be like, who?
One thing about Fenway Park is that it's filled with people who are paying attention to the game. When you go to these games, if you're a true Yankee fan, does it not piss you off when it's like a 3-1 game in the 8th and the stadium's doing the wave?
I want to.
Listen, and most of those people are just people who are in the city. They want to go to a Yankee game, and that's great. That's fine. But you get a lot of people going to Yankee Stadium as a tourist attraction.
Oh, this is what they brought this up on the fan earlier today, and it annoys me to no end that the Yankee Stadium is a tourist attraction. Like, go to Citi Field if you just want to catch
Citi
baseball.
Field's a beautiful stadium.
If you're a tourist from Europe and you want to go to a baseball game in New York, go to Citi Field. I'll guarantee you that you'll have a lot better time navigating yourself when there's 8,000 people in the ballpark every day. Yankee fans, the ones that are there, we want to be there to watch a baseball game. I don't want to be distracted by the wave and a 2-run. I don't care if the Yankees are losing at that point and they struck out 20 out of 27 times that they could possibly do so. I don't want the way. I don't even care if the Yankees were losing 30-1, okay? And everybody on the team came down with some type of calamity. I don't want to see the wave at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, that shouldn't be there.
Yeah. But you can't control that.
You know what's kind of been overlooked with this?
I mean, you could, but then you'd go to jail.
Right. No, take care of it on that day.
How great have these fans been on the West Coast? You got to give them some credit, no?
You know what?
These games are like they're playing at Yankee Stadium, guys.
We should really start by saying CC Sabathia hit the milestone, the 3,000 strikeout milestone.
No. That's not the biggest milestone. That John Ryan Murphy will live in Yankee
infamy.
Lore now for 2 great moments. He was the final man to ever catch Mariano Rivera.
Correct.
Looked like the famous picture where he just was like, "What the hell am I doing?"
That they cropped him out of in the official publication of the photo.
Yeah. And now John Ryan Murphy was the 3,000 strikeout.
He was also his 2,500th. By the way,
caught his 20.
Oh, he caught his 2,500th. But awesome!
So congratulations to John Ryan
Murphy, and congrats to one of my favorite Yankees of all time.
Honestly,
CC
I cannot
Sabathia.
wait for the Yankeeography of John Ryan Murphy.
It's going to be fantastic.
I'll tune in.
But
Talkman about it.
Let's talk.
Talk about a
Talkman about a guy that hadn't had a hit.
Christ,
in a week.
I can't even talk.
Talkman.
Talk about an away stadium just really making it feel like it was home. And I know there were a lot of Yankee fans there, but there were more Diamondbacks fans at those 2 games, and they really showed a lot of respect to CC Sabathia. I thought that was pretty cool.
Karsten
Charles.
It did kind of suck that he gave up a home run 2 batters earlier, though.
Flores.
And he was kind of like giggling with the umpire at first base,
He
right?
was pissed. He said that when he was coming off the mound, he was more pissed that he didn't get a strike call than he was worried about that. He was caught up in the moment, that he didn't get caught up in the moment of striking out 3,000. And then I guess he saw his son. And quality tweet. I think it was from the official MLB account that they said, "CC, we love you 3,000."
That's great.
It didn't say CC.
It just said, "We love you 3,000."
We love you, 3,000.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Quality
because it had kid. It had his kid reaching out for
him. And that didn't even hit me. That didn't even hit me until later on. When I initially saw it, I said, "Oh, that's fun just to tie the Avengers into what just happened." But then I saw he was hugging his son, and I was like, so now there was a double tie in there. But Ryan and I will talk about that in a little.
I think CeCe got pretty choked up during his post game.
He was crying yesterday when he was doing the pregame
with Susan.
Susan was like, "I'm gonna cry," and CeCe's like, "I'm gonna cry too."
Wow, really? In the pre?
Yeah. CeCe got pretty choked up. He didn't really show it. He put his head down for a couple minutes. And then started talking again.
So here it is, the big debate. Where's his final resting place as a baseball player? Is it in Cooperstown, or is it just? He was really good.
I know a lot of people this week. A lot of the mainstream sports talk shows were discussing this over the last few days since he hit the 3,000 mark. And they kept reiterating, we're not putting him down. He's had a great career, but they're comparing him to guys like Ron Guidry, who they think Ron Guidry had a better career than him and didn't make the Hall of Fame, and all these guys.
CeCe's a compiler.
I just think
he's a compiler.
And then at one point, I think it was Evan Roberts. I'm not sure.
Probably was because he was going off on it.
But at one point, no, it wasn't him. It was someone. It might have been Joe, actually. They were saying, like, if you break down his seasons, his great years weren't necessarily dominant.
It was Carlin, that douchebag.
And then in the same breath, he goes, he's close to 250 wins, has 3,000 strikeouts, has a World Series championship and a Cy Young award. And I'm going, well, what are you reading off right now? Because
ALCS MVP in 2000.
In my, and he did carry the Milwaukee Brewers team to the postseason, and he was an ace. He was an ace on the Brewers, the Indians, and the Yankees at one point. And I'm going, you're describing a Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
Even if you take into account 13, 14, and 15, where he did not pitch well for the Yankees. His lowest ERA in those 3 years was 4.73. What the hell happened in 2000? He had to have been hurt, right? Because it's only showing he pitched 46 innings that year.
2014?
Yeah.
He only played 8 games that year.
What happened to him that year?
That was the knee. That was the initial knee year, I think.
What year was that? 2014?
Yeah. Even if you look at those 3 years and you take those into account, this is one of the best free agent signings that the Yankees have ever had. Oh, yeah,
by far. Not just for his performance on the field, but just everything CeCe's meant to this team. And he's just loved throughout baseball by the media.
That was a degenerative
knee.
All right, so take your Yankee cap off for a minute.
No.
What do you think? I mean,
it's tough to take the Yankee cap off. But, dude, I don't know, man. I like to compare his numbers with Mike Mussina's, and they're very, very similar. And Mike Mussina was,
I don't think
put
he
into
gets.
the Hall of Fame.
I don't think he should get in on the first ballot. But again,
I agree.
But then again, you got to look at who else is on the ballot in 5 years from now. He doesn't scream first ballot Hall of Famer, but he is a guy that should be there eventually.
Yeah, I think he should get it
before he dies.
I'm the type of guy.
Not saying that CeCe's going to die soon, but sometimes these guys, they wait 20 years to put him in, and they're friggin' dead. Mm-hmm. So they never know that they get into the Hall of Fame.
I'm the kind of guy who, as much as I want to see the new writers come in, and I do want to see the steroid era guys eventually make it, I do want to see some change in that regard. I'm still more about tradition. Like, there's certain golden ticket items that when a player hits them, it's just a lock. I think 3,000 strikeouts, no matter how long he's played or would continue to play. I know he's retiring, but I think when you hit that milestone, that's it. That's your golden ticket.
He's only the 17th pitcher to hit that milestone?
Third left-hander.
Third lefty?
I mean,
who are the other two? Randy Johnson?
I think Steve Carlton's.
Yeah, it was Steve Carlton.
If you're a batter stuck at 475 home runs and you extend your career, 3 years too long to get to 500, you're making the Hall of Fame. You are. It's a golden ticket item. It's a shoo-in.
500 doesn't mean what it used to, though. Sorry, it just doesn't.
But you know what I mean.
If a guy's at 475 and he plays 4 more years to get 25 home runs, no, he shouldn't get in the Hall of Fame at that point.
But he does.
But he shouldn't.
But he does.
Maybe. We don't know. We have to see that situation pop up again.
I think with the 3,000, given the history.
I mean, if you're a Hall of Famer and it takes you 4 years to hit 25 home runs, you're averaging 6 home runs a year? You should get in the Hall of Fame for that?
Hey, Derek Jeter hit how many?
Who's a compiler?
Well, who was the guy that just got in this past, or it was the last time? That it was more of the fact that he had a long career that got him there. Was that Reigns?
Because his friends were on the Veterans Committee.
He had an 18-year career, right?
Sucks.
Yeah, his numbers weren't that great, but he was a compiler.
Not that Harold Baines was a good Major League Baseball player.
But here's the thing.
Okay, he doesn't belong. Yeah. The only way Harold Baines should get into the Hall of Fame is he buys a ticket like the rest of us.
But here's the thing, right? You want to isolate the 3,000 strikeouts, fine. But when you expand the horizon there and start looking at what else CeCe has accomplished, when you mix it in with that,
he's got to get 3 more wins.
I think you're right, though. I do. I think you're right. I think that he will make the Hall of Fame, but he certainly won't be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
If he gets a 250 with 3,000 strikeouts in this
How many wins is he at right now?
247.
absolutely.
I know wins don't mean what they used to, but for him to be at 250 with 3,000 strikeouts, he's going to have, unless he completely goes off the rails, he's going to have an career ERA around 3.7.
Weren't some of those Indians teams not that great?
No, they weren't. That's why he got traded.
But what I'm saying is he had a lot of wins a couple of those years. Look at this. With a really shitty Cleveland Indian team from what I can remember.
You're going to make...
He won 19 games in 2007.
You're going to make CeCe's case off of 2008 and 2009. With 2008, he got traded somewhere, put a team on his back.
Literally.
Yeah, that
to
was
get them to the
else.
postseason, knowing that he was going to be a free agent, and then signed a big money deal with the Yankees and immediately delivered a world championship to them. Immediately.
Yeah, what he did with the Brewers was nuts.
You know what? In 2010, he even had a better year in 2010 than he did in 2009. 21-7, 3.18. 2011, 19-8, 3 flat. For the first 4 years he was here, he was phenomenal. And then 13 he wasn't good, and then 14 and 15 he had his issues, and then look at the way he reinvented himself. Since he came back from the alcohol issues in 2015, the guy has not pitched to an ERA above 4. His highest ERA is 3.9.
And you know what too? I was thinking about this the other day.
How many pitchers can lose what made them great and in some ways be better?
Well, I could think of 2. One of them being CC Sabathia,
and the other one was another big lefty that pitched for the
Andy
Yankees.
Pettit.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody else.
I think Andy Pettit really talked him through that whole process.
He talked him.
But here's one thing I've been thinking about, listening to all the CC critique over the last couple days. Guys are comparing him now. You have guys like Jacob deGrom, right, who have a dominant year with a 1.67 he ended with, something like that, ERA. Guys back when CC was an ace, back in those years, they didn't pitch to when
he won his Cy Young Award, nobody had a sub-3 ERA in the league.
And that's my point. I mean, aces weren't the same as they are now. Aces back then were guys who went deep into games, won a lot of games, but didn't necessarily pitch to that 1 ERA. You had Jacob deGrom go out there every single game last year and barely give up a run.
Look at that. He pitched 253 innings in 2008, pitching on 3 days rest to get the Brewers into the postseason. And then what? 09. And then look at that. With the Yankees, 230, 237, and 237 again, 200, 211. I mean, so when he came over here and he was in his prime, even that year, that 2013 where he wasn't great, he still took the ball and gave you innings. And that's got to be, that says something about a guy.
Absolutely does. It absolutely does. At the end of the day, first ballot, no, but eventually I think CC is a Hall of Famer, especially when he hits that 250 mark of wins.
That was a shame in 2016. He had a losing record when he pitched his ass off in that year.
But you just touched on this. I mean, every year since he's really come back from the alcohol issues, he's had a lower ERA every single year. He's lowered his ERA. Listen, I know he's dealt with his personal issues and his injuries, but when CeCe's on that mound, man, he's been really reliable for this team. Even in the latter part of his career, and that says something for me. I say yes.
I mean, he's a 5th starter right now, and you can't find many 5th starters that are better than CC Sabathia.
You really can't.
You can't. You would have. You could even, if you ranked starters 1 through 5, who's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? He would be better than a good majority of 4 starters in this league.
The problem is people don't know. Again, I go back to isolating.
And not that a 5th starter should make the Hall of Fame, but I'm just saying this is a guy that went from being an ace to now he's a back of the rotation guy, and he's not just there to pitch every 5th day. The Yankees rely on him for big innings, even if it's 5, to win games. Like Jason Vargas with the Mets.
Oh my God!
The Mets are just hoping.
Oh,
when Jason Vargas takes the mound, the Mets are just hoping that by the 3rd inning
he's dead.
Not that he's dead, not that that they have a realistic shot of not losing by 10 runs in that game.
Yeah, and most of the time they're let down.
When CC Sabathia takes the mound, even though he's a fifth starter, the Yankees are still hoping that they're
Always
winning
in
that
it.
game.
Yeah, and they always are most of the time. But it goes back to kind of what I was saying last week or the week before with isolating certain feelings. People look at CC now and they think they try and reflect on his greatness, and they see the fifth starter CC, and they try and compare that to some dominant ace, and they look at how he's, you know, transformed from an ace to a fifth starter, and it's almost like he's overstaying his welcome in the league, but he's not. He's really not. You have to just take it now. He had to reinvent himself, and look what he's done since that time.
He could probably get a job next year.
He 100% could.
You got to see how the rest of the season shakes out. But
he could probably get a job with the Yankees next year.
I don't know.
Listen,
I might have to cut ties.
Oh, listen, I'm not saying that if he decided not to retire to sign him. I'm saying that it wouldn't be the most unrealistic thing in the world, given the injuries we've had all year and, you know, the question marks of our...
That's why when you argue with people, why did you re-sign CeCe? I mean, you re-signed him to be your fifth starter, and the guy is pitching, right? I know he's had, 4 starts this year? 3 or 4 starts? Mm-hmm. He's pitching to 2.6 ERA.
For a fifth starter, by 4 or 5 starts, whatever, you should have close to a 4 ERA. So take it for what it is in 4 starts. That ERA could be through the roof, and it's not. It's not.
All right, here's his game logs right now. He's 4 starts. He's not going deep in games. That's what's hurting right now.
But
5, 5, 5. And actually, this past week,
into the 6th.
He pitched into the 6th, 5 and a third. He got earned runs allowed 0, 4 and 2 from your fifth start. If you segmented the season, let's say he makes 24 starts. You segmented the season in the 6 6 segments. That's easy for me to come up with. You're not going to take this every time?
Yes, and look, play
sometimes
back all of our episodes.
Sometimes a little worse.
Play back all of our episodes when we discuss CC. We said 5 innings. Maybe if we're lucky, he goes into the 6th. And then I said if you really want to push it, he's having a really good day. Maybe we'll see him in the 7th once in a while. But 5 innings of only giving up a couple runs with the bullpen that we're supposed to have, you got to take that out of your fifth starter. Would you rather him go 6 every time but give up 4 or 5 runs? I'd rather see 5 innings and 2 or 3 runs and turn it to the bullpen.
That's all I want out of CC. I want your best 5 innings, and then if you got gas left in the tank, then you can come out for the 6th.
That's it.
But I want his best 5 innings.
Absolutely.
And again, this is what we didn't want. This is what happened last year that we didn't want to have happen this year. Is you didn't want to rely on CC being more than your fifth starter, but unfortunately, we have to do that again because nobody can find where our ace is.
It's so frustrating.
And the guy that we thought might step up and be the ace
has been even more frustrating than the fact that our ace is injured.
And that's Masahiro Tanaka, who after the first... Brian, bring up his game logs, please.
You just call him Brian?
No. Brian. After his first couple starts, where we even said on the show, this is a guy that is stepping up in the absence of the ace not being there. And then what's he done? He has not been good. Look at this. Against the White Sox, 5 runs in 4 innings. Then the Royals, that wasn't that bad of a... That was a good start. That was a good start, okay?
And then the Angels start was good until the 6th inning, and he imploded.
Then the Angels, right? This is a bad baseball team. The Yankees staked him to a 4-run lead, and he couldn't hold it.
All right, can we be fair, though, for a second?
No.
Can we please be fair?
What?
He's had 6 starts. 4 of them were pretty phenomenal. 2 of them were awful.
7 starts, right?
3 of them, he's given up 1 earned run in 4 out of the 6.
3, his start against the White Sox was awful. His start against the Angels was awful. And his start yesterday was awful.
Oh, I'm not looking at the...
You missed the 7th
7. One. Okay. So...
I got home late yesterday.
So since April 14th, his 4th start of the year, he's other than against the Royals...
Since April 14th, his ERA is over 6.
Yeah, that's not good.
I got home late yesterday. I got home around 4:30 yesterday. The game already started. So instead of missing, this is my new thing now. Instead of missing any of the game,
You're a taper.
I'm a taper now.
I'm going to become a taper too.
You should.
You got to tape.
And he just fucking
Can't
aggravated me. He just aggravated the shit out of me yesterday. I couldn't watch him pitch. I fast forward. I'm glad that I taped the game because I fast forwarded through him
He was
pitching.
very difficult to watch. And you hold your breath because the guy just has not figured out how to keep the ball in the park.
That's fine though. I don't mind if he gives up the occasional home run because with his arsenal, with the split, if the splitter doesn't split, it's a BP fastball, and you understand that. But dude, what did he have? Like 17 pitches in the first inning yesterday, which is fine, okay. And then I look up after the second inning, he was almost at 50. Like, what do you do? Like, come on. If you're gonna give up runs, be economical about it.
But let's go back to your statement just now.
And then look at. Did you watch the game yesterday?
Yeah.
How many guys was he up 0-2 on yesterday?
Yeah.
And couldn't put him away?
A lot.
That's a problem.
That is a problem.
You look up 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, and then all those guys 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. Where's his put away pitch? Where's his splitter?
He didn't have it.
Where's his slider?
And when he's off, he doesn't have it. He's unlike other guys where, if someone else...
He's not like most guys.
If someone else doesn't have their fastball that day, they rely on their curveball.
He doesn't
if
have
someone
a great
doesn't have their curveball, they rely on their changeup. Masahiro Tanaka is all about one pitch. And when that one pitch isn't on, being a splitter, he is a very hittable pitcher. He's a very, very hittable pitcher. But when it's on, he's one of the most dominant pitchers in the league. Because that splitter, when it's on, is absolutely filthy.
Again, would I rather him have his splitter on yesterday or game 2 of the American League Division Series? Obviously, I would rather have it be on.
It's been on every game he's pitched in the postseason in his major league career. So,
but we said this. We've said this before. Even though people think Tanaka sucks in the regular season, he doesn't. He had one in 2017. He was awful. But if you look at his numbers, he's been really good in the regular season for the Yankees.
He hasn't lived up to the hype that we thought in the regular season.
I wouldn't say that.
But
he's been really consistent and really consistently good.
3.6.
I think
career
Tanaka.
ERA.
I think Tanaka is more of the pitcher that we talked about. CeCe was during his prime. And when he was an ace, I think that's the kind of guy Masahiro Tanaka is. And the fact that they paid so much money and he's never really had a dominant season where he's had a low 2 ERA and had close to 20 wins in that season, whatever, that it does feel like a little bit of a letdown.
Well, 2014 was the first year he came over here, and he was 13-5 with a 2.77.
He hasn't even hit 15 wins.
And that's when he got shut down with the elbow thing, right? Mm-hmm. But then look, he came back next year, 3.51, and then this is probably his best year. Pitched, it was most innings he ever pitched in 2016, 199, 14-4 with a 3.07. 17 he was bad, but then last year he was good, 3.75.
And look, 2016 is a really good year, but it's not, on paper at least, is not dominant. And I think that's where you feel that little bit of a letdown because you were expecting some dominant Japanese pitcher to come over here with the money they paid for him.
Let's be fair that I never buy into the hype of Japanese players because 90% of them, they for whatever reason, it doesn't translate over here. How about Kosuke Fukudomi? Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
Exactly. All the hype in the world. He was supposed to be better than
I remember the name because I think I used to say Fuckadome.
No, it was.
What about
his name? Actually, if you said it phonetically, it would be "fuck you, do me."
Okay, I think that's what I used to say then.
What about Daisuke? What was the other
Daisuke
guy?
Matsuzaka, another guy.
Yeah.
I saw a jersey. Someone was wearing a Matsuzaka.
What about my boy Park? Was he Japanese?
No, he was Korean.
He was Korean. Well, you got look. You really want to talk about dominant Japanese players? I could think of one.
Hideki Matsui.
Oh, Matsui, right?
Ichiro. Out of
pitchers wise, you
it
really
would be Tanaka.
But
Really,
really,
Matsui.
Matsui came over here at an older age. No,
yeah.
Like he really didn't have too many years in his prime in Major League Baseball. When he was in his prime, he was phenomenal.
Hideo Nomo was look. I bet you he had I would almost bet you. I can't say this for certain, but I bet you his career ERA is over 4.
I bet you it's 4.07.
It was
4.24.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have said he was anything above average.
Again, a good pit. He was a good, solid pitcher. What did he throw? Did he throw 2 no-hitters? I think he did.
He might have.
But again,
yeah, I can't really think of any pitchers from Japan that have.
So for him to come here
been elite
and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So this is his 6th year with the Yankees. And 4 of the 5 previous years to pitch to an under 4 ERA, they play different. People are going to take this and think that I'm racist against Japanese people, and it has nothing to do with that. It's just that they don't play the same type of baseball that we play
it's
here.
Completely
Do you think
different.
Part of it is that the Japanese pitchers get an extra day off?
Yeah, and they have
smaller balls, right?
I think that's in the Korean league. I don't know if it is in the Japanese league. That you do
because
use
it
different
seems like
baseballs in the Japanese league.
Seems like the position players
the
that come over, there hasn't been as many as there's been pitchers. I don't think, at least that I can think of in my head.
What about Keigawa?
The position players translate a little bit better than the pitchers, and I think the pitching culture in Japan is a lot different.
Well, when they say Tanaka Tuesday, right? Like that's just like a cool little catchphrase thing that the Yankees fans use when he pitches on a Tuesday. But in Japan, you had your own day. You didn't start every 5 days or you
even to this day, even till now.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not up on Japanese baseball.
I think it's still the same, but yeah, I'm also not up to date.
You had your own day to pitch. Like Chris pitches Monday, Ryan pitches Tuesday, Christian pitches Wednesday, day off Thursday, Tanaka pitches Friday, Joe pitches Saturday.
Is it a fucking wiffle ball league?
But that's how it was. You didn't come off of your day. That's the day you pitched on that day. That was your day to pitch.
Right. I didn't know that.
So, and so that's an adjustment. And I think Tanaka's handled it pretty well. And that's why, too, the numbers have panned out that he's pitched better with an extra day of rest is because I guess he has vertigo.
If you want to talk about it in that way, you're right. I mean, he has been pretty good.
I think, yes, you wanted him to come over here and be a shutdown ace. But honestly, in my opinion, in my mind, knowing how I feel about the transition from Japanese league to major league, that this is as good as I could ever hope for. To have a guy pitch to being
okay. What if he wasn't a good postseason pitcher for them?
Can you let me finish?
Okay.
For him, would you say that he's a number 2?
Absolutely.
For him to come over here and be a number 2 and be a lockdown ace in the postseason, which he has been. You can't say that he hasn't.
Oh, in the postseason, he's been absolutely
more
phenomenal.
than I could ever hope for.
In that context, absolutely. I agree with that.
And I think the Yankees have gotten lucky where 2 of the best Japanese players to come over in recent times have been Yankees with him and Matsui.
Ichiro, too, is a Yankee.
What a fucking bum.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, he's another one.
Yu Darvish.
Again, Yu Darvish. What has Yu Darvish ever done?
No, you're right. I'm in agreement.
The top 9 players from Japan. Oh, pitch. Is this just?
No, I think this is hitters
Daisuke
too.
had
Ichiro and
few
Matsui,
years.
Koji Uehara.
He was a decent reliever.
Daisuke had a few
Matsui
good
and
years.
Ichiro. Yeah, that's
Tanaka
a fair
doesn't even
point.
crack the top 9.
No, I didn't
or is
see
this
him.
all retired people?
Are you good to throw it to our
No, 'cause
sponsor
Ohtani.
soon? Because we actually have a new promo code we have to give out.
Okay, sponsor.
I didn't know this, but our promo code is going to change every 2 weeks.
So we've been just giving the wrong promo code out for the past
No, it
2.
just expired.
Yeah, let's throw it to our sponsor, huh?
Now, when you go to baseballsm.com,
Throw it to the sponsor.
when you go to baseballsm.com, use promo code NYYST15. Figured you would like that a little better because I think you used to always try and say NYYST15. Go to baseballsm.com, use NYYST15 to save 15% on your entire order. They're starting to come out with some good Yankee stuff. What?
Guy we forgot.
Who?
Was actually really good with the Yankees. Hiroki Kuroda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to bring him up.
Kuroda and Matsui, Kuroda and Tanaka are kind of resemble one another statistically.
That's racist.
Statistically, you asshole. Okay, we'll mix a little Japanese racism in with baseballism.com. Check out baseballism.com. I promise you, you go on this website for a couple minutes and scroll through, you will not want to turn away without buying something. Use promo code NYYST15 to save 15%. We'll kick it to them, and we'll be back after this.
Within a game, a bond is made. He teaches his boy a game he played. 2 gloves, 1 ball, a day at the park, and the 2 play catch until it gets dark. And his boy does better than he thought he would. So the 2 played catch as long as they could. The boy and his friends, they play in the streets, tennis shoes and cans, no bases, no cleats. They hit home runs and they turn double plays. 1 great catch, and he's Willie Mays. But the sun starts to set in the old neighborhood, and they played in the streets as long as they could. The boy goes to school and plays for his team. He develops his craft and follows his dream. He has moments of glory, he has moments of shame. But they shape his life and they make his name. But he begins to get old, and it's understood. The boy played the game as long as he could. The boy, now a man, he has a son of his own, and he teaches his son a game he was shown. His son's first game, he sits in the stands. He yells out instruction, but it's not in his hands. And being late for the meeting was not in the plans, but a cheer for his son as long as he can. This is America's brand. This is baseballism. Do you believe in baseball?
All right, we're back here on episode 115 of the NYYST podcast. Go to baseballism.com. Use code NYYST15 for 15% off your order.
Oh, huh?
You should show people that shirt you got on. That's a nice shirt.
Oh, you got porch.
You got porch.
That's my brainchild.
You got porch. This is a great shirt. Really great shirt.
You got porched.
By the way, check us out on YouTube if you want to watch any of the episodes.
Yeah.
Type in NYYST. Our channel will pop right up.
Because really, you went silent for like 30 seconds in last episode when we were showing off your shirt, and I thought there was something wrong with my phone because I was listening.
I know. I should have
the
explained
audio
better that I was showing the people watching what shirt I was
Let's
wearing.
bring up Hiroki Kuroda's numbers while we have this up here because he was very good with the Yankees.
I think you're overplaying it just a little.
No, I'm not. That he was very good with the Yankees? Absolutely not. Look at those years. 3.32, 3.31, 3.71. You wouldn't say he was very good with the Yankees? He was very good with the Yankees.
I'll take those numbers.
Is he still pitching?
He went over to Japan.
Yeah, I know. Is he still pitching over there? Can you find that out for me?
Yeah,
please?
sure, I can.
Okay.
You know, another guy who had a shorter career, but he did make the most of it over here. He was a really good pitcher. Again, not dominant.
He was really good, though. 3.45 career ERA.
And you're probably going to look back at Tanaka and say the same thing one day.
I think he retired in 2016. But yeah, he left the Yankees to go back, pitch 2 years in Japan.
Did he have arm issues also?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
No, I don't think he ever had any serious arm issues.
Do you think we ever see a day where Tanaka's elbow finally
He was
gives
better
in?
with that was surprising. He got better coming to the American League because you look at when he was with the Dodgers, 4.17,
except for that 1 year,
4.53, and then maybe he was rounded into shape there.
This is ERA.
Oh, what am I looking at?
You were looking at runs allowed per 9, I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's not the right.
That's still high.
Okay.
Do you think that Tanaka's elbow ever just gives in?
Okay, yeah.
Probably.
I hope not.
Well, you know what? This is kind of what they're hoping with Miguel Andujar is that they're going to let him play with the tear and just hope that it doesn't completely fucking explode on him. That's basically what it is.
That's cool.
Is that risky? Would you rather see them just shut him down?
Well, if you shut Tanaka down, you're losing him for this year and next year.
I'm not talking about Tanaka.
All right. So
I'm talking about Andujar.
Well, you know what? I'm not a doctor, and apparently
you're not.
The Yankees have to be fairly confident that worst case it just ends up you shut him down and it's not going to make things any worse than if he just got the surgery.
That playing him he either can play or he needs surgery, and I think based on what I understand is that him playing, even if he does need surgery, it won't. I mean, it'll just delay the rehab, but it's not going to make anything worse.
So do you think that...
Speaking of rehab, though, Andujar did play in a rehab game again Thursday night. He hit a dinger. He's been hitting well down there, although he did make a couple errors in the field. So I don't know.
Give me your percent chance that you think he comes back and he stays healthy for the rest of the year, at least when it comes to his shoulder.
62%.
That he stays healthy.
Yeah.
That's pretty high.
I feel confident that if the Yankees are actually going to put him on the field.
Okay, what if Ellsbury steps foot in the clubhouse just once while he's healthy?
Ryan,
13%.
We'll get in one last Avengers reference before we actually do that show in a few minutes. Remember the scene when they do the flyover of Citi Field and it's desolate?
Yeah.
If Jacoby Ellsbury steps foot inside Yankee Stadium again, that's what Yankee Stadium will look like.
All right, let's plug your show coming up because it's not part of NYYST. It's part this fucking. Look at this. Look at this,
my
folks.
God.
If you're watching this episode,
Did
right
you not
now,
kill it?
I guess it's still live. Oh, I saw it.
Go to
Finally got him.
Go to
Holy
baseballism.com
shit.
for your fly swatter.
That fly has been bugging us for quite some time.
That's a dad joke.
So are we dropping your show tomorrow also? When are we dropping that show?
Yeah, you can whatever
Dropping
you. I
that
think
show.
we could. I
Yeah,
think we
dude.
could,
Drop
right?
it right now, bro. We'll drop it in the fucking past, dude.
We're going to drop it last week.
Yeah.
But they're doing that show afterwards. It's part of Hitting Hard.
If you're an Avengers fan and you want to hear Ryan
And
and
you've
I
already
break down,
seen-
and you've already seen
and
the
Yeah,
movie,
make sure you've seen
and
the
you
movie,
want to hear Ryan and I break down the movie, go to iTunes, just type in Hitting Hard. My face will pop up. I believe I've done 13 or 14 episodes so far, and this one will come up, and it'll be better than the other ones because I'm not speaking into my goddamn cell phone for a half hour. I'm having a conversation with Ryan.
and I'll be in it.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be nice.
Okay. Okay.
Before we wrap up, though, Troy Tulowitzki,
Is that
Bum.
back? He's done, right?
he left. He had
They're gonna cut ties with him.
Wednesday. He left his rehab game with tightness in his calf. I haven't heard an update as of recording right now, but goodbye.
You tweeted something from the main account. You can follow us at NYY Sports Talk, by the way. You tweeted something that he was removed from the rehab game, and someone commented, "Good signing, Cashman." And I said, the pen Cashman signed him with was probably worth more than the actual contract they gave the guy. That's why we got him. If we had to sign him to a real contract, he wouldn't have been signed. This was a low risk deal that we knew this was very likely to happen. But at $500,000, when your shortstop's out for the entire year, how do you pass up on that?
You don't. And
You don't.
The reason why it's worse is because
They could have got Machado, man.
everybody else got hurt.
Right.
Mhm.
Speaking of Manny Machado, I have no idea what he's up to, and I don't really care to be honest with you. But the fans that think that we're trading Andujar now because Gio Urshela's played a good 2 weeks of games they're almost as bad as the people that want to trade Aaron Judge. You think now, and I said this to somebody that wanted to trade Miguel Andujar, you really think that Brian Cashman passed on Manny Machado for Miguel Andujar and is now going to trade him because Gio Urshela has been hot for 3 weeks?
Duh, that's what happens, right? We're so caught up in the moment that we have to just be irrational about it.
What's he doing right now?
Hitting 236.
Yeah, we definitely should have signed
He
him.
started slow
5
last
home
year, though.
runs,
Remember?
13 RBI. Yeah, he did
He
start.
did start extremely slow.
Then he totally.
And that's
turned
not
it
exactly a hitter's haven out in San Diego.
No. I'm
5
hearing
dingers.
some rumors starting to circulate that the Yankees will, in fact, I don't know what word to use here, maybe be aggressive with their talks with Dallas Keuchel after the trade, whatever you said, and you said,
What? Who said that?
yeah,
Who said that
well,
they were?
you said it to me in the car too.
Yeah, what is July 15th or something like
June
that?
15th.
June
And
15th,
what
rather.
Who said that they
the
wouldn't have
trade
interest in-
compensation.
draft pick compensation?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Who
right.
told you that? That
You-
they wouldn't?
yeah, you said that.
Yeah, but now somebody with a blue check mark says it is.
I
Yeah, what's up with
believed
that,
you.
bro?
I believe
We've
you.
been preaching this.
Did I fight
since,
you on that?
Like 2018, bro.
Yeah, we did have a solid conversation.
No.
about it.
I wasn't saying you were wrong. I was saying that for me personally, I wouldn't let that be something that stopped me, an
John
obstacle.
Heyman throws shit to the wall and says the Yankees would be interested in Dallas Keuchel after draft pick compensation
Bob
evaporates.
Nightingale.
I said that 3 weeks ago, you dumbass.
You were listening to Boomer and Gio this morning?
A little bit.
They were ripping that journalist.
Oh, the guy that said that Kevin Durant would go to...
the headline was like, report Kevin Durant, who else? Kyrie Irving.
Will consider
the Brooklyn Nets. And then the article was just about them possibly consider. And then the article blew up. And Gio's like, is this all you have to do now to... Kind of.
Well, we've seen people try to get Twitter famous by just saying random
But you know
shit.
what? And it made me think about this.
Because think about it, right? Before you say that, right? Kevin Durant would consider the Nets. Kevin, you pretend you're Kevin Durant for a second.
Cool.
Kevin, would you consider going to the Nets?
Yeah, sure.
Did he just not consider going to the Nets?
Absolutely.
Was it really fucking serious that he considered it? But am I lying?
I think about it. I would think about it.
And now here's what I was just going to say. As much of a douchebag as he is because he was just trying to make a name for himself, it kind of makes me respect Dan Clark a little more for what he did, because at least he came out and said, this is going to happen. If it doesn't, you can shit all over me.
Why is he still tweeting?
But he shouldn't be tweeting. Like, that should have been it. If you want to throw your neck out there on something that big and it falls through like so awfully, you should just stop. But at least he stuck his neck out and made a statement.
Come back with a burner account.
And made a statement and didn't.
He didn't want to.
He didn't.
Somehow he's got a
it.
blue check mark and he didn't want to lose it. That's
but
why.
There's plenty of people that are well respected that never give you a definite statement. Never. They never put their neck out there. And that's why I respect our buddy Dan Federico so much, because when he's going to come out and say something that is a big news item, he sticks his neck out. And you know what? Since he's dropped a few big things, he's been accurate every single time.
We actually have to. We should reach.
We
out
got to
to
get Dan on.
We're supposed to have Joe on last week, but it was Easter.
Well, Joe's big time now.
Yeah, Joe Rivera.
Joe Rivera is high timing us a little bit, I think. So,
Mr. DAZN over there. Speaking of DAZN, you guys going to come over and watch Canelo Alvarez fight on Saturday?
If you really want me to, I would absolutely enjoy that.
Is it against my boy Fury?
Oh wait, is this the rematch?
No.
Oh.
You know, Canelo Alvarez is not the same guy that we saw fight.
I don't remember. I just remember I really
loved
who
that Tyson
fight.
Fury fight?
Who did Fury? It was Fury. Deontay Wilder. That was the fight that we watched.
That was actually a really entertaining night.
This is supposed to, I mean, for whatever reason, Cinco de Mayo weekend has become a big weekend for boxing fights. And Canelo Alvarez is fighting on DAZN. He's fighting Danny Jacobs. And I asked my friend, who's a big boxing fan, because the last time Canelo fought on...
You didn't ask me anything about boxing.
You're a big... I said my friend that's a big boxing fan.
Oh, you have other friends?
Yeah, I do. He's going to get triggered now. So we'll just leave it alone. I said to him, because the last time Canelo fought on DAZN, he fought a tomato can. And the fight was over in 3 rounds. I said, is this guy a legit fighter? And he's like, no. This dude is fucking legit.
DAZN is his name?
No, DAZN is the streaming service that you watch the fights on now.
Okay. I'm getting there.
So I figured that I already subscribed to it, that you could just come to my house and watch it.
You know, Canelo has...
I would really enjoy that.
Highest paid athlete in sports.
Yeah,
Canelo Alvarez.
He has an exclusive fighting contract with them. All his fights are on there.
Oh, that's who you were comparing to the Mike Trout.
5 years, 11 fight deal, $365 million.
So he's got to fight twice a year. That's why he was fighting. That's why he's got to fight a couple tomato cans, because he's going to be fighting twice a year.
Is that a boxing term?
Yeah, you don't know what a tomato can is?
No.
Do you get out of the house at all,
bro? No. Okay.
But if that was, it's like,
is that the Cars for Kids theme?
Yeah, probably.
My daughter sings that just in the car. She wants me to play it.
What would you do if the phraseology tomato can came up on Jeopardy? You'd be lost.
What is
tomatoes? No, I'd say, what is tomato can?
I said, what?
Like, I don't really watch Jeopardy, but
Chris is good at Jeopardy. But it would be like, I'm better than him, but he's good at it.
A boxer that is really bad, and then
They give you the answer. You have to answer it with the question.
a boxer that is a pushover, easy fight for the opponent.
What is a tomato can?
That's how it would work.
Okay, Johnny, we'll accept it. Thank you, Johnny.
Tomato.
Tomato can.
It's not a tomato can. It's a tomato can.
I say tomato.
I actually reached out to my boy James. I wanted him on my
You know, you shouldn't have done that because he answered you. Now you've directly influenced what happens from here on out in his life.
What do you mean?
Who's James?
Didn't he contact you back?
That's all we've been talking about.
So now if he loses tonight or tomorrow,
He's a loser.
it's on
He's
your.
done
It's on
recording
you
right now. He's done.
Okay,
recording
yeah, you're
right
right.
now.
Did he answer you?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said right now I just have to respectfully decline because of all the media outreach that he's been declining right now because he's trying to spend time with his family.
AKA, he doesn't know who you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But no one knows who he is. You don't even know who he is.
He's some jerk off that won $1 million on
$1
Jeopardy.
million. He's about to win $2 million soon.
On Geo. I call it Geo Party.
$2 million in about
The
20
smart
days.
people call it Geo Party, okay? I read that in my encyclopedia.
One of the categories the other night was potent portables.
Potent potables.
But they show potent potables in the background during the theme. Potent potables? All right, what the fuck are we talking about?
All right, so before we come back and record Sunday night after Bat Day, which I might beat somebody with a bat. You never know. You never know.
Bring it here. You can use the bat and I'll use my fists.
I'm not under 14. I can't get a bat.
Dude, I'm telling you, shave
Fight
the
a fucking
beard.
kid and get the bat.
Bring a
Fight a
lolly.
kid.
Get a
Fight a
lollipop or
fucking kid,
something.
man.
Have a lollipop in your hand.
I'm
Talk with
I'm
a lisp.
taking my cousin and his daughter to the game. I'm taking my
But
cousin.
grow the beard.
I'm taking my cousin's
Just have
and
a
his daughter
mustache.
to a
Can
game.
I have bat?
So
I want a bat.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Sir, you're in your 30s.
Close to 40s.
I'm going to make sure she forgets that I'm driving because, my cousin's a reckless animal, but he can't drive over the George Washington Bridge, right? So I'm taking him, right? So I'm going to make sure she forgets the bat in my car, and then when he calls me, I'm be like, never brought the bat in my car.
I don't see
I don't
that.
know what the hell you're talking about.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right, so before we come back and record on Sunday night, will Miguel Andujar be wearing Bronx?
I hope so.
Will be wearing his pinstripes in the Bronx?
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. The fact that he's rehabbing now and he's gotten some games in, he's going to be good to go. We're in. We're back.
I didn't hear.
I mean, I think we
haven't
should
heard-
expect it.
Yeah,
right?
we should. If he's not, then
I think
that's
it's
a
fair to
concern.
expect
I
it.
think if he's playing in a
Right?
rehab game on Thursday, which is tonight, I don't know. I doubt he'll be in the lineup Friday. I think they would give him the day to see how he recoups, and I think Saturday is the day. If Miguel Andujar is not activated on Saturday, I think we have a problem.
Yes.
I agree.
And can I just say one last thing before we wrap up?
Aaron Hicks, quick update. Aaron Hicks finally got into a game today, extended spring training, hit a home run.
Dinger.
But I haven't heard that whether or not that was just a hologram of Aaron Hicks or the real person.
Me neither. I can't confirm.
Can I just say one last thing before we wrap up?
Luke!
My boy.
Yeah, he's
Officially
pretty
my
awesome.
boy. Officially in. Officially the guy.
Hey, why do we have Luke Voigt on this team?
Chasing
Because
Shreve.
Greg Bird's a piece of shit.
No. Why is Luke Voigt on the Yankees?
Brian Cashman.
What made Brian Cashman sniff around St. Louis's dumpster to pick up Luke
He
Voigt?
had,
Greg
he had
Bird
some type of
sucked.
it factor. Chasing Shreve sucked.
It was all in the analytics.
I think we should incorporate that into our theme.
2 designs of a brand new Luke Voigt shirt should be hitting.
Yes.
When?
Okay, so I had to do a couple things, and then I was like, they're continuing to lose. It's just never a good time to try and get engagement in fans. I was thinking tomorrow during the day, I'm gonna drop that tweet with the 2 shirts, because I figured people are a little bit more removed from the shitty Arizona series.
Although he had a good series.
He did, but at the end of the day, it's just not a good time to get engagement from Yankee fans.
Unless they want to trade Aaron Judge, which I don't even know how I got myself caught up in that rabbit hole today. Here's basically what it comes down.
You get too worked up.
You know what it was? I was sitting down. The dog was sleeping. My wife wasn't home. I can only watch 9 episodes of How I Met Your Mother in a row. So I really didn't have anything to do before it came over here.
Hell.
And I went on Twitter, and one of our good writers, Beth, tagged me in that this guy wanted to trade Aaron Judge. So I was like, yeah, I'll indulge him. This is the package that he put together. He said we'd trade him to the Toronto Blue Jays. You ready for this?
I'm listening.
Billy McKinney.
Phenomenal.
Brandon Drury.
I wish he would come back, please.
Marcus Stroman. Mm-hmm. And here's the coup de grace. Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Yep. And it all comes back to
Aaron Judge.
It all comes back to the fact that the new big hot name in baseball is Vlad Guerrero Jr. Everyone's excited. I think they should be. I think he's going to be phenomenal. But that's the mindset, right?
Did the Yankees make that trade? They made that trade?
No, that guy, I put it in the MLB simulator, and it was rejected.
So Judge is still on the
simulator.
Let him say simulator.
Simulator. What the? Want me to throw this?
What is it?
The sign. You want me to throw it?
Don't throw my sign.
Okay, then shut your mouth.
I love that sign. Did you get me that sign?
No, I didn't. I gave you everything else on this fucking table.
If everyone watching can see this Aaron Judge,
not that Clay Davis bobblehead
right here. All right. That was what Christian was talking about when we were what were we talking about when he brought that up? It was very odd.
I don't remember
something
anything.
Sexual, and then
it wasn't. It absolutely had nothing to do with sex.
It was, and then you said
it might have. I have no idea.
It definitely was, and then you said you got me.
I'm sure because you're a prick like that, you're gonna go back and find it and cut it back into the
episode. No, I won't
do
that to you.
Nah, it's too much work.
I won't do that to you.
All right. So Yanks are home now after a 9-game road trip. Hey, you know what? Put a bow on it. If you would have told me they were coming home 6-3, I would have signed for it.
I wouldn't have believed you.
I would have signed for it in blood. Okay, that's how happy I would have been with it.
I would have been happy with that.
It just sucks that they started 6-1 and then lost the last two. But you know what? And this is what we didn't bring up, and we'll say it real quick because I didn't want the show to be an hour, but it is anyway. But
what? Zach Britton sucks.
He doesn't suck. All right,
is that what you were going to say?
This might be my Sonny Gray. This might be the hill I die on this year. I'm sorry I said his name, but I was so adamant positively for a stupid guy last year that Zach Britton might be my stupid guy this year. He might be. I don't know.
It's okay.
Is that what you were going to say?
No.
But I do think you're right. I do think he's going to be very good.
DJ LeMahieu wasn't in the lineup last 2 days, and they couldn't score any runs.
Mm-hmm.
Could have a lot to do with it.
And he got hot on this road trip.
Could have a lot to do with it.
Another guy that the Yankees were being cheap when they signed him.
A very reliable guy this year.
Outside, if you take Lou Voigt out of the equation, who's been the Yankees MVP offensively?
Not even a question.
The first month of this, easily, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's Voigt and LeMahieu. That's been their offensive production,
and I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say. I know it's just one guy, but one guy can make such a huge impact in a lineup that is so deflated right now compared to what it should be. LeMahieu does make a big impact,
and your boy Tyler Wade over there.
I'm done. Get out of here, man.
I honestly, for him, I hope to God he got hit by that pitch yesterday because he got Boone ejected. So you would hope that he got hit by that shit, and he's not back in the locker room saying, "Oops."
Sorry, Skip.
Sorry.
Oh, they still lost. So regardless, I don't think Boone really cares.
I don't think he got ejected for Tyler Wade though.
Right.
So you would hope that Tyler Wade was right about what he got ejected over.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but what I'm saying is I think at the end of the day they lost. I think that's the only thing you really get.
Do you want your player lying to you and that's the reason why you got ejected?
No.
So don't you think Boone has a right to be pissed about that if Tyler Wade indeed did not get hit by that pitch?
Yeah. Don't you think Gary Sanchez has a right to be pissed at Joe Girardi still for thinking he was lying about the
I want to see them two
Goes
fight.
Both ways, bro.
I want to see them fight. Joe
Goes both ways. A manager should always trust his player.
I want to see Joe and Gary fight.
That would be actually. I bet you Joe Girardi would win.
Oh, I honestly, I think
it wouldn't even be close.
It wouldn't even be close. KO first round.
Like 30 seconds in, not
he
even.
Just
on the zone.
Fucking rage.
That Joe Girardi rage.
Yeah.
He turned into like the Hulk when as soon as he thought of a pass ball, he turned into like the Hulk and he would like eat him alive like he was jaws or some
his
shit.
veins would pop out.
All right, so we'll be back. The Yankees are playing the best team in the American League this weekend, the Twins. It's Friday night, and then yay, Star Wars Day on Saturday.
Yes.
Here's my favorite. Here's my favorite, right? The bobbleheads that you want are limited to 18,000 fans, but the Star Wars bobblehead is 40,000 fans. So literally everybody would get one. They're pushing their Star Wars agenda on us.
The Yankees lost 2 games and went to the doctor, and they prescribed the fucking Minnesota Twins to come to town.
Yeah.
That's always the turnaround point.
Besides bronchitis, do you know what else Jacoby Ellsbury has?
What?
He has ligma.
What's ligma?
Lick my balls!
Okay, so you're allowed to say that, but I had to cut out what I just said previously, which you'll probably see a skip in the video.
Oh my God.
Unreal.
I want that Minnesota medicine.
And then Bat Day on Saturday, Sunday actually.
Winning. Who used to say that? Charlie Sheen?
And then
Winning.
And then we'll be back afterwards. Hopefully the Yankees can scratch out a couple wins because according to Bart Scott, they're going to win 2 of their next 10 games.
Put me on record. They don't lose another game the rest of the season.
So thank you for listening to episode 115 of the NYYST podcast. Check us out on Twitter at NYY Sports Talk. Go to baseballism.com. Follow them on Twitter at baseballism. Stat Guy Rye.
Let's go, Yanks.
Chris. Say goodbye.